Yok, kırmızı oldu. Altın mıydı mı?
Neydi abi?
Deniz çekil olmuyor.
And for one.
Burada da Türkiye'deki gibi hiç bekleme var.
Geçelim ama. Teşekkür ederim.
As well as days to enjoy to go here. A nice day like today to enjoy cold beer, get an ice cream close to the water, or just look at all the pretty colorful buildings because this is of course one of the most famous sites in our entire city. Here in Duhan we also find the first but also lowest bridge of the entire tour. And ladies and gentlemen, we're really not joking. If you're seated outside, now it's really important that you go all the way down in your seats and make sure, yes, exactly, that your heads go further down in the roof of the boat. We really don't have a lot of space. Enjoy to grab a beer from the sunny side and then go to the shadow side and look over to the mist on the sunny side instead. Now, when it needs to get heated up, it can save the heat from all the people seated inside and utilize that for energy in the next day as well. And when it needs to get cooled down, you can actually use the coolness from all the water surrounding it. The actors and actresses missile because luckily no people got injured during this incident. Right next to Pillar Scott, you have one of the oldest constructions here. This is an old mast crane from 1749. It was used to hoist all the tall masts in the wooden ships back in the days. It's actually a very remarkable construction. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we have all been waiting for. You're now going to greet the most famous little lady in all of Denmark, and that is of course the Little Mermaid sitting on her rock in front of us now, and soon on your right hand side. Well, the Little Mermaid, she's been sitting here on her rock since 1913, and back then she was a gift from the brewer Carl Jacobsen. He was the one who owned the Carlsberg breweries, and he was very fond of the arts, so one evening he went to the Royal Ballet here in Copenhagen and watched the ballet of the Little Mermaid. He fell in love with the character and wanted to donate a sculpture of her to the city, and so he did. It was the sculptor Edvard Eriksen who created her, and since the ballet was the inspiration for it, he wanted the world-famous Danish prima ballerina Ellen Prise to be his model. But as you can see, the Little Mermaid here, she is naked, and this world-famous decorations and the gold, but it is a Protestant church, like most other churches in Denmark. Also speaking about the king and the monarchy, we are still a monarchy in Denmark, and on paper the king still needs to sign all the laws being made by the government. But let's put it this way: if the king at some point chooses to not agree with the government from the publicly elected people, we're probably not going to have a monarchy for much longer. So it's mostly just a symbolic. And if they did that, then he could get all their money through taxes. Not a bad plan. There was a minor problem with it though, and that was that the rich Dutchman never came. The Danish economy almost went bankrupt, and the area became a normal Danish workers' area. However, today that has all changed because now it's one of the most beloved residential areas in the entire city. It's especially famous for its many pretty houseboats and beautiful listed buildings. As we enter Christianshavn, right after this bridge, I'll have to make a very short break over the microphone since we are entering residential area, so that the people, they can rest their ears for a little while. But don't worry, I'll be back to you right after the canal. First, we have the bridge coming up, so please mind your heads. And I hope that you'll enjoy the very special atmosphere we have here in Christianshavn in the meantime. And I'll be back to you soon.
Filmlerde yaşıyor insan. Home. Evet.
Başka ülkeye geldik. Baba biz Amsterdam'a mı geldik?
Benziyor değil mi?
Bak. İşte adam var.
Hayır.
Aha şu
Wie kann das sein?
Around 200 years ago, and that was the world-famous Danish fairy tale author Hans Christian Andersen. He chose to live here in Nyhavn for 20 years of his life on 3 different addresses. We have a bit of traffic in Nyhavn right now, so we're waiting for a boat to sail out, and then it's our turn to sail in. So Hans Christian Andersen, he's not actually from Copenhagen. He was born and raised in the city of Odense in another part of the country, and the reason why he wanted to move to the capital was not to become an author at all.
Det er nok bare den engelske, det japanske, de taler. Okay. Jeg ved ikke, om det bare sagde med en.
botun içindeyim.
Christian Andersen used to live in. That is number 67, the narrow white house coming up on your right hand side, the one with the black roof. And inside this building, he lived on the first floor. But we are now sailing towards the first, last and lowest bridge of the entire tour. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you remember this one. Everybody, you have to sit down under this bridge. Please make sure your heads go further down on the roof of the boat. So even if you're seated inside, please sit down now and mind your heads here under the last bridge of the tour. So, yes, thank you so much. So pay attention everybody, we're sailing under the last bridge of the tour. How low can you go? The Nyhavn Bridge here also marks the end of our small journey through the canals of Copenhagen today. I hope that you all had a great time staying with us. What a great weekend you chose to come to Copenhagen. We have heard yesterday was actually the best first spring day ever in the history of recording the weather here in Copenhagen. So you're definitely experiencing the nice and sunny side of Copenhagen. I hope that you all enjoyed our small journey through the city today, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much.
Gel ikimiz çekilelim.